Ilesanmi sat on the edge of his bed, staring at his phone. His hands trembled as he scrolled through old messages from Angela Deem. The voice notes, the texts filled with accusations, the video calls that always ended in shouting. It was all too much. He had once believed that love could withstand anything. He had convinced himself that Angela's fiery temper was just her way of expressing passion, but now it felt like a prison. Michael took a deep breath. He had finally done it. He had left. And for the first time in years, he felt free. His phone buzzed, and he hesitated before picking it up. It was a message from a lawyer. "Michael, good news. We've got a strong case. Your green card process is moving forward. Call me when you can." A wave of relief washed over him. This was it. His fresh start. But as he leaned back against the wall, the memories of Angela came flooding back. How they met, the years of drama, the threats of deportation, and the moment he realized he had to walk away. Their relationship had started like a fairy tale, at least for Angela. She was the loud, brash American woman who had fallen in love with a younger Nigerian man. Their love story had captivated fans, and they became one of the most controversial couples in 90-day fiancé history. But behind the cameras, it was a different story. Michael had endured Angela's jealousy, controlling behavior, and constant insults for years. She had torn up his K-1 visa papers on live television, humiliated him in front of his friends, and even threatened to get him deported when they argued. Yet, he had stayed. Why? Because he had genuinely loved her, or at least he had convinced himself that he did. But love shouldn't feel like a battleground. The final straw came during one of their explosive fights. Angela had accused Michael of cheating, again. She had screamed at him, thrown his clothes onto the street, and threatened to call immigration to report him. "You think you can use me to get to America and then leave? You ain't going anywhere, Michael," she had yelled, her face red with fury. Michael had stood there, numb. For years, he had tried to prove his loyalty. He had cut off female friends, stopped going out without her permission, and even let her check his phone whenever she wanted. But it was never enough. That night, as Angela stormed out, he made a decision. He was done. Leaving Angela wasn't just about walking away, it was about survival. Angela had all the power in their relationship. She controlled their finances, his immigration status, and even his ability to work in the U.S. if she wanted to. She could make sure he got deported. So Michael had to be careful. He reached out to a lawyer in secret, explaining his situation. He gathered evidence, screenshots of Angela's verbal abuse, recordings of her threats, and testimonies from friends who had witnessed her behavior. The lawyer had been optimistic. "You have a case, Michael. If you can prove abuse, you might qualify for protection under U.S. immigration laws." It was the hope he needed. But he still had to tell Angela. And he knew she wouldn't take it well. Angela had come home that evening, already in a